on bottles. Well, that's up to 5K. Now it's like 4,400 type. Not saying I know. I'm just saying. I just don't see being that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you sip drink, bro, it's like for everybody who has not sip drink or been on that shit. You talking about, I don't know. I'm just letting y'all know what the streets is saying.
What the streets is saying. What the streets
when
is
you
saying.
sip, bro, it's like you can't. You do it for fun, think you cool at first. Then next thing you know, you get a lift for yourself. Then that run out. You like, damn, I don't feel good. Maybe I should get a little bit more. Once you get that little bit more, now you feel real good, and you back to feeling how you floated. But then it turned into a daily routine, bro. You know what I'm saying? Daily routine. He stopped smoking and started sipping. Yeah, I don't know. That really don't make sense because I feel like them two go hand in hand. And I do know a bunch of people who sip and don't smoke, but yeah, I don't know, bro. If he is sipping, then I wouldn't advise that. I'll probably holler at him about that because I done been down that path. I'm talking about anybody who know me. No, I ain't. I thought I was a rapper. I'm talking about I done. Yeah, it ain't nothing. I've been quit like 9 months ago. Like I just stopped. Period. But and I'm wanting to do like, even though I don't like to talk about, I'm functional. Like it's obviously I sleep a lot, but like I can sip and still go out and perform and do whatever I need to. But it's not the most responsible. It's not the smartest. It's unhealthy, especially continuing to do it. 9 months ago. But the thing is, I can still perform. I can still do everything. I just will definitely sleep, and I'm gonna be irritable. Like I get definitely irritable on that. I don't want nothing. Me and my last girl had a problem because I was never trying to. I was always just trying to sip and get rubbed on, lay down. She'll tell you to this day, but it's definitely anybody will tell you they just on there and then you're not. You might hit something every once in a while, just cause we still at the end of the day. But but yeah, this ain't nothing to be played with. It's definitely nothing to be played with. How ironic.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. Past that. All right, so now let's get to the beeswax. 1738. All right, so here we go. So, influencer ASHLEE JENAE old tweets resurfaced, and she was warned she would be killed by her fiance. All right, let's see. ASHLEE JENAE at the_life 305. She says, "Ooh, brother, I see 305 in your bio. Let's talk about all the Miami men, not white, beating their women still. Or is it too touchy? Go live your life while I live. Go live your life while I live mine." That's my fault. I didn't know that. It was saying live. I thought it was saying live. Live and live is spelled the same way. So I could read. This is from ASHLEE JENAE. Every day, black men wake up and find new ways to embarrass us. Dang, why this girl in the background just staring at her like that? I'm gonna do a separate thing with that. So I get it. I get what she's saying, but I mean, it's 2 years ago. They bringing up old tweets from 2 years ago. Like, let this girl live, man. But I get it. I get what people are trying to say. I think it's I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but I get it on both ends. I get what people are trying to say because she's with a white dude. The white dude unalived her, and now people trying to rub it in her face and throw it in her face. Um, at the same time, even though she transitioned, bless her soul, she was rubbing it in black men's faces. But for the most part, like the real niggas, like real black men, they not tripping on that. But it is sad that what's it, Presea? What does that mean? But it like real men ain't, they're not crashing out over that. They not caring. Um, like I could care less who anyone dates. It doesn't matter if it's within the same race or without the race. But the funny, I'm not funny, but the crazy thing is, 20 weeks ago, because this is how you know it is a common thing for, or is a trend that the Caucasian, some Caucasian males kill their Nubian girlfriends or wives. Because 20 weeks ago, someone said he gonna kill you. So they're saying that because it's becoming the norm. You know, not, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I'm just saying it's just becoming the norm that these interracial relationships where the white man kills the black woman, the media, because I'm not saying it doesn't happen anywhere else, because I'm pretty sure it happens anywhere else. Um, a Ankh won't give you eternal life. God rebuked all the gods of Egypt. Everywhere plague on earth was directed at one. Oh my goodness. Their gods, and shows us God's supremacy over gods. Um, well, for one, I'm gonna say that just a sidebar about the God and the gods of Egypt conversation, because someone just commented on it. Um, the Egyptian culture predates, I would have to say, like 99% of all other cultures on earth and religions on earth, because it was the first. Akhenaten, an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, he was the first to form a monotheistic religion. Uh, what he was doing was he was combining all of the deities into one, which is the first mention of God or the Most High. When Akhenaten combined all the gods together as one, that's what he was doing. That was your first depiction of God or the Most High. So if you believe in the European Christianity, if you believe in the European God, then go ahead. I'm not here to battle or debate anyone on that. Uh, I don't accept man's religion or man's ways. So with the amount of stuff that the evil that people have done, all in the name of God or their gods, I can't be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. So in no way, shape, or form do I accept uh, European man-made religion or Christianity. My God or my Most High isn't like that. My Most High doesn't do that. So I don't accept the I don't accept man's law. I accept God's law. So when people talk about, you know, the Egyptian gods and all this stuff, do you? Like I say, I'm not here to battle no one or convince no one of anything. If whatever culture or religion works for you, then it works for you. Even though I don't accept that, I do know good Christians. So there are Christians out there that do praise the European God or do praise the Christian God, and they're good people. As long as you're being a good person, then I could care less what God you worship. Because to me, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, being a good person. And there's in these religious books, it's obvious that these texts were man-made texts, and it's obvious that uh, man has put his nature in these books and in these doctrines. Because when you read someone's religious book and it's saying stuff like "kill those that don't believe in me," or it's saying stuff like, "Yeah, you can be a good person, but if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell." All that is man-made religion. That all that is just that's stuff that man added into God's words or the Most High's words or sacred words, because they want control. And over there's I don't have to show you. We all know that there's thousands of years of documents showing and proving that man wants control. People try to control other people. So when they talk about stuff like this person in the comments says, when it talks about stuff like worshiping different gods and their God versus your God, at the end of the day, just be a good person. And like I said, I do believe that humans, man, put their 2 cents or their own nature in doctrine to indoctrinate and control one another. And it's obvious. Like if you look at, there's text, there's um scrolls, documents, there's history, there's recorded records showing proof that people use man-made doctrine or man-made books or religious books to control others, and they dumb them down. They don't allow people to read, they don't allow people to know literature, because they want to be able to go to a group of people who can't read, and you're the only one that can read. What they want to do is be able to open up those religious books and read to them and lie to them and say, okay, and then spin God's words around to fit their narrative and purposely misinterpret the Most High's words to fit man's narrative, because man wants to rule over man. So, like I said, they go to the less literature or the less illiterate people, and they read these religious and cultural books, knowing that they don't know how to read, knowing that they can't comprehend and understand it. Because if they did comprehend and understand and know how to read, they would be killed. That's why outside of the religion, there's like, I'm gonna come to my race. Black people used to be murdered and killed because they knew how to read. So if they and you ask yourself, well, why would they be killed and murdered because they knew how to read? Because man wanted to control them. And anyone that did know how to read, that this is how serious it was to them. Anyone that did know how to read and did know literature, they was killed, because the overseer or the leader would look at them and be like, that person that knows how to read is a threat. So that black person that is smart, intelligent, is literature, and know how to read, when I come up on this podium and I'm reading from this book and I'm trying to control them, that intelligent person is gonna be like, well, hold on, it doesn't say that. It doesn't mean that. You're misinterpreting it. And then they're gonna debunk my whole plan. My whole plan of being superior above these people, my whole plan of controlling these people and making these people my slave. My whole plan is gonna get messed up because one of them know how to read. So that's why back in the day they would kill us for knowing how to read, how to be literature, how to read and write. So when it comes to stuff like religion and then people talking about different gods and deities, and you could talk ish about, I'll just use the Egyptian gods. You could talk ish about the Egyptian gods, but your perspective on the Egyptian gods come from who predate all religions, by the way. Your perspective on Egyptian God comes from um, man-made religion. It comes from a group of people with a certain mindset that has to, from their perspective, it's evil to them. The Egyptian gods is evil to them. So you can't fact check religious texts when it comes to Egypt, other than the fact that there was an Egypt. And if you look at Egypt, that's why all religion, you cannot name a religion on earth that doesn't tie themselves in with Egypt. Every religion on earth has to tie themselves in with ancient Egypt, because that's their way of saying, um, we were right. You see, our religion and culture is the truth because it's tied to with Egypt. Because people subconsciously is going to say, dang, if Egypt is there and you can still see the pyramids, you can still see the statues, you can see the mummies, and we can see all that. And they're saying that their religious and cultural stories took place among Egyptian or around Egypt, and Egypt is there, then it must be true. Because if Egypt there, and this if because what people do is they'll look at a place in their religious book, and or an incident that happens in their religious book, and then they'll say, okay, how do I prove that this incident actually happened? Well, it says here that this incident took place in Egypt. So if this incident took place in Egypt, and I can go to Egypt, and there's pyramids and everything, I could touch a pyramid, I could touch a mummy. What they do is, because their religious book says it took place in Egypt, whatever religious deed or action or religious story happens, they'll say, oh, it must be true because it took place in Egypt. And I could go to Egypt, I could look at the pyramids, I could look at the mummies, I could look at the gold and the statues and all this. That's why they have to do that. That's why all religions on earth, they have to tie themselves in with ancient Egypt. You can't name one religion that doesn't tie themselves in with ancient Egypt. Even when it comes to mythology, mythology ties themselves in with ancient Egypt. You can't name a mythology and you can't name a culture or religion that does not have ancient Egypt in it, because ancient Egypt is real. It predates it predates all of them. But that's a fact. That's just a fact. So when people talk about, a lot of this stuff is just perspectives and opinionated. If you are a Christian versus a Hebrew Israelite, there's similarities, but there's differences. A lot of this stuff is just opinionated. If one person chooses to be a Hebrew, another person chooses to be a Christian, you know, as far as I'm concerned, they worship the same God, but each denomination thinks that they're right based off of their opinion. You could fact check certain things, which also ties in ancient Egypt, but that's all it is. A lot of times, people it's just based off of your opinion. All these religions are religions of Judaism. So, like, my thing is, I feel like it's degrees to it. You should study all, and then wherever your soul and your spirit and your mind, wherever that vibrates with, wherever your triad vibrates with, if that's what works for you, then that works for you. We shouldn't be going to war and bumping heads and killing each other because a Hebrew Israelite says, well, you know something, the culture of a Hebrew Israelite, it works for me, so I'm gonna be a Hebrew Israelite. Let them be. Someone that's a Christian, if they're like, something, the culture of or the religion of Christianity works for me, it vibrates with my soul, so I'm gonna be a Christian. Let that person be a Christian. It shouldn't be all this fighting and bickering. And I honestly feel that any religion that says, um any religion that says kill these people or kill that person because they don't believe in me, or any religion that says something like, if you could be a good person, but if you don't believe in me, you still gonna go to hell. I feel like man put that in there. I feel like a human being put that in there. And what people say is, well, these people, God spoke through these people, and these people wrote this information down. I don't believe that. Because if I were to tell you God spoke to me and God told me that all religions on earth are evil, devil worshiping, demonic, that they're all really Satan worshipers, and that they're all man made. God told me not to believe not one religion on earth. Then how do you combat that? How does one combat that? You're saying God told you to do something, and I'm saying God told me to do something. So you're saying God told me to be a Christian. Another person is saying God told me to be a Hebrew. Who's who's right? Who's wrong? Like how do we come back? Like how do we get to a solution? That's why I say it's all just opinionated. You know what I mean? It's really you really just have to go with your gut feeling or your the feeling of your heart. Go with what you feel or what makes you a good person or what makes you right. So I didn't want to really get into it. I could do a religious um I could do a religious live. I'm sorry y'all, excuse me. Hold on. God damn it. I could do a live on religion. If you want me to, I do a live on religion. But when it comes to picking religion and people doing all these debates and going to war and battling over religion and their gods and their deities, I just feel like it's crazy. Wherever you wherever you feel works best for you and wherever you could be a good person, then be a good person. But just to recap it, I do think it's crazy that people would say, I do think it's just man made. I feel like a man put. Look how many times. Well, I'm gonna just use Christianity for a minute. Look how many Bibles there are. Look at the number of Bibles there are. Look at the number of revived and reversion Bibles there are. Look how many times God's words were altered. And before there was an original Bible, there was an Ethiopian Bible, which predates the Catholic Bible. So it's like, why isn't no one trying to study and trying to dissect the Ethiopian Bible? You know, the Ethiopian Bible, yet again, it came from um, uh, Nubia. It came from Egypt. The Ethiopian Bible came from golden tablets from Egypt. So it's like, you know, shouldn't preach hate for one another because someone has a different culture or religion than you. Like me, I can't and I choose not to follow the European Christianity because of the evil that they have done. I can't. I cannot. If you're saying that you're Christians and this is, your way of life and you're preaching from the Bible in no way, shape, or form, can I then it's like, then why y'all so evil? Why do y'all enslave an entire race of people? Why do y'all take that particular race of people, take their babies and their seed and throw it in rivers and Niles to go crocodile and alligator hunting? Why do you take these people's skin and make leather out of it? Why did you rape these people? Why did you starve these people? Why did you brutally murder these people? Why did you do all these evil acts if your God is so good? Like why? Like that's my question. Why was so much evil done? And you're saying, well, we're Christians, but hang that man. We're Christians, but we're gonna take this baby and throw it in the Nile and go crocodile and alligator hunting. Why do you say we're Christians, but you just raped that little girl? You know what I mean? Well, how could someone say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," but you just hung someone? You just hung a man by his neck. You hung a woman by her neck. You took a knife and cut open her pregnant stomach and took her child out and threw the baby on the ground and killed the child. But these people are Christians. That don't make no sense to me. So it's like I do love my Christian brothers and sisters, but I cannot follow that. I cannot pray to a God that allowed that to happen, that will allow that to happen. I can't pray to the same God as the Ku Klux Klan. Whatever the Ku Klux Klan has going on, I want zero to do with it. I don't want anything to do with nothing the Ku Klux Klan has going on. If the Ku Klux Klan goes right, I'm going left. If the Ku Klux Klan goes up, I'm going down. I don't care what they're part of. I want nothing to do with them. So if Ku Klux Klan members are Christians, then I'm sorry. I don't want nothing to do with that. So that is why I can't accept European Christianity. Now, if these people were kind and loving and they didn't hang people from their neck and they didn't hang black women from their neck and cut open their stomachs and take their babies out and stomp the child out, and if they didn't take babies and throw them in the Nile for if they didn't rape these people, if they didn't do so much evil, even the Catholic Church, if the Catholic Church didn't kill people all in the name of God, if the Catholic Church didn't do the evil that they have done, that's not God. That's man. That is man. If these Christians and Muslims and Catholics, do you know these people have killed millions of people, all in the name of their Most High? They have done some of the most evil, wicked acts on earth, the most evil, wicked acts that's imaginable to man. These are these are the children of the devil. These are not children of the Most High. These are not children of God. These are not people that were pure for you. Even because it's like Catholics and Christians back in the day, the evil that they have done, they would kill in the name of God, but God says, "Thou shalt not kill." So what do? They justify them killing, but it clearly says, "Thou shalt not kill." This is wicked stuff. This is just wicked. These are man. I'm special. I'm a child of God. I'm special. I'm gonna rearrange God's words. I'm gonna do this and put this here. We're gonna revive this book hundreds of times. We're gonna revive the Bible hundreds of times because I'm a man and I want to be special and I don't want to follow God's words. I want to follow man's law. But the Bible says thou shalt not kill. Yet millions of people have lost their life because of religion. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm just saying all this just to piggyback off of the person that made that comment in the comment section. I could care less because, like I said, millions of people have lost their lives, all in the name of religion. Religion. These religious people don't even follow their own religion. It's just a system of control. These religious people say, "Thou shalt not kill," but then these religious people go kill. Like back then, Muslims have killed millions of people. Christians have killed millions of people. Catholics have killed millions of people. And it sucks. It's you know, it's horrible. But yeah, I just had to throw my 2 cents in on that because the person in the comment made a comment. And the person in the comment section made a comment about religion and gods, and it's like I don't like when people try to belittle someone from what they believe in, or someone that chooses not to believe in a culture or a tribe or a religion based off of the evil acts that these people have done. And like I say, I agree with that. I cannot be a part of anything that says if you don't believe this or you believe in me, you're gonna die or you're gonna burn in hell. If you don't believe in you could be a good person, but you don't believe in me, you're still going to hell. I don't believe in God shall not kill, but we're gonna kill y'all because it's so many contradictions. God should not kill, but we're gonna kill y'all because you don't believe in what we believe in. Yeah, but your Bible said I should not kill. So what? We're gonna kill you anyway. That's literally what they're saying. Horrible shit, man. Horrible shit. Um, but anyway, getting back to it. Ashley Janae, horrible situation. Horrible situation. What is this? I can't hear you. I will. Okay. What she say, Mike? She said have a good trip. We gonna try to have a good trip. It's a long way, babe. What's up, cousin? I got him. I got him. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm finna fly back home. Not right here. Cause my finna eat steaks and shit. You have to pull up today. It's a whole bunch of drunk shit going on this house. I'm finna take him to his mama first stop. Not his daddy. Huh? You girl on the phone. Right. Huh, cousin? Okay. All right. So this person, I'm sorry. They titled this after she paid 10,000 prison bail to marry him. He killed her instantly. That's not the true story. He did not kill her instantly. She killed her, but not instantly. But someone in the comment section says if you're going to post the Shay, if you're going to post the Shay story, post it right. She gave him money when he got out of jail and helped him get on his feet after getting out of jail. They got married, of course, and she bought houses, cars, flew this man out for his birthday, and gave him 10K to start his own business over the course of years. That man was doing drugs, blowing money, and was jealous of his wife, and then he killed her, and then that's when he threw her in the gravesite. So this wasn't a course of just instantly. But the reason why I think that they put instantly because this is a black man that killed a black woman. But as you know, you have this whole situation with Ashley Janae and her Caucasian fiance that killed her, like literally the same day that he proposed to her, I think, or maybe the next day that he proposed to her. The only reason why they posted this, the only reason why they worded it like this, is because it's like black men don't got nothing to do with this situation. Let's just be real. Black men has nothing to do with this situation. Black men has nothing to do with Ashley Janae's fiance killing her. Black men has zero to do with it. However, because you are a weak-minded person and because you hurt easily, you're going into the comment section, and these people are not innocent. These people are just as guilty. Not everyone, but some of them. They're going into the comment section, and you got people of all races and kinds rubbing it in Ashley Janae's face. So then you got other people that you have some black women that agree with Ashley Janae being with a white dude. I could care less if she with a white man or not. Got nothing to do with me. I don't care. If you want to have an interracial relationship, all races, do your thing, boo boo. Go have your interracial relationship. I do not care. I'm not trying to stop no one. I'm not gonna make a comment. I could care less because I like what I like, and I don't want no one to tell me what to like, and I don't want no one to tell me that I can't like something that I like. PvP. So with that being said, what's happening is you have people that are mad that there's a lot of contradictions here. You got people that are mad that it was a white like they're mad that Ashley was online and yes, bless her soul, but we got to be real here. Ashley was online. She made a few comments about black men and rubbing being with a white man in the face of the black man. Whatever, it's humanity. We don't like each other. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So what happens is women that agree with her or black women that want to date outside the race and get with white men, this doesn't. This is like um a point deducted from their what's the word? Their campaign. This is almost like a point deducted from their campaign. So the black woman that date white men, they're mad because this black woman who was all over the internet got killed by a white man. So now they're like, fuck, damn, shit. They're pissed off. Then you have other people, other black women, other black men, and people from other races that are rubbing that in the faces of these people. So now they're mad, they're pissed off. So they want to it's a war. It's an unnecessary, stupid ass war that these people are in. So what they go do is they go dig up an old video of a black man that killed a black woman and they reworded. That's why they put emphasis on the word instantly. After she paid 10,000 prison bail to to marry him, he killed her instantly. They're trying to say, you see, y'all do it too. Black men kill black women too. And this thing is just stupid. This battle, this unnecessary war, is just dumb, immature, lame, and stupid. It is unintelligent. And that's what's basically going on here. That's the only reason why they posted this. So then you have, and it's like no one is being an intelligent adult about it. Like sometimes I really worry about the human race. I really be like, I don't think we're gonna make it another 1,000 years. Like this is crazy. It's stupid. Get posting this just to go back and forth. Okay. No, this is garage door. You are not ready for. They trying to clown me. What I do to act like? Nigga, you always going out with these ass niggas that you with. I don't know what homeboy you on the phone with. He's a ass nigga too. All you be moving weird. You always acting funny with that phone. You always moving weird with me. Oh, are you serious right now, bro? Yes, bro. Bro, you grown, bro. Why don't you just talk to me, bro? Cause niggas be lying. Bro, you gonna pull like a whole camera crew on a nigga. What? How you all want tripping? Y'all think my life is a danger. You on some cheat shit, bro. If you were cheating on me, your life would be in that. What are you talking about? Crazy. Man. Ask him, did I even cheat? Ask him. I'm the one who told him. It's on video. I'm the one who told him. No, I don't gotta pull it out. What? See? Bro, shut up. Bro, it wasn't about that, bro. It's just that you make me feel weird with the way you be moving. It's not about none of that shit, bro. You be moving. Now she look dumb as hell. She look dumb as hell. It was funny, bro. So I pulled out the whole swap. They're trying to clown me. What do I do to act like a cheater? Nigga, you always going out with these ass niggas that you with. These relationships, boy. I'm yours. You can fuck me right. You can fuck me right now. I can fuck you right now. I can fuck you right now. Yes. Show me. Okay. Show me. Let's go. As more backup officers arrived at the scene, Officer Clark's emotions began to unravel. Because of the earlier struggle, Clark had suffered injuries, and fellow officers immediately transported him to the hospital for treatment. On the way, Clark briefly informed his colleagues that a shooting had occurred, but he did not explain how the situation had unfolded. Gunfight, shot fire. I shot like 6-7 shots. Clark arrived at the hospital shortly afterward and was taken into a treatment room at the doctor's request. Another officer temporarily secured Clark's service weapon. It was at that moment that Clark suddenly realized his body camera was still recording. Later investigations revealed that Clark fired a total of 8 shots during the incident. 3 of those bullets struck Robert, causing critical injuries. Clark sustained minor bruising to his face and arms and was subsequently placed on administrative leave following a critical incident. On the 2nd of February, 2023, after 3 days of emergency treatment, Robert finally regained consciousness. His life was saved, but his left arm was permanently paralyzed. Despite this, Robert would go on to face multiple felony charges, including assault on a police officer and attempting to flee the scene. I'm yours. You can fuck me right. You can fuck me right now. Oh, she crazy. I don't know, man. I don't get why people be just so crazy sometimes. Like, and then she's an officer. She tried to set that shit up. Like, if it wasn't for that body cam, that man's life would be over. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna go live again at 4. So like I said, I gotta get some errands done and go to sleep. So I'll see y'all later, man. Oh damn, we've been streaming for like almost 2 hours. But with that being said, y'all, I definitely appreciate and thank y'all for tuning in to Keeping Up with Horror. I'm Har, your host. Until next time, always remember peace, love, and unity. If you do like horror films or scary movies, you could click the link in my bio. It'll take you to my Patreon page. And my Patreon page name is Haru Entertainment. That's HARU Entertainment. And I have a movie on there called Lord of the Mountain. And Lord of the Mountain is an indie horror suspense film. So if you like indie films, horror films, and suspense films, go ahead and give it a try. I wrote it myself, I directed it myself, I casted it myself. I got the whole cast and crew together myself. We spent some time on getting this movie done and filmed. So if you like I said, if you click the Patreon link in my bio, it'll take you straight to the movie. Again, the movie's called Lord of the Mountain. The movie to view it, all you gotta do when you go to Patreon, just sign up with your email for free. You don't have to do a subscription or anything like that. All you have to do is just sign up, and you'll pay the $13, and then you'll have 2 days to watch the movie. So it's as simple as that. Pay the $13. I'm sorry, sign up first, pay the $13. You don't have to do a subscription at all. You just sign up with your email, pay $13, and watch Lord of the Mountain. And you have 2 days to watch it. So it's a suspense indie horror film. I think it's very good. I think y'all would like it if you want to give it a try. Uh, but I would definitely appreciate you giving it a try and letting me know what your thoughts on it. Because there's a comment section on there too, to where you could throw comments and let me know what you think of the film. The film is almost 3 hours long, so this is my third film, my third movie I ever filmed, and it's like right up under 3 hours long. But it's good. It's very good. Uh, so anyway, y'all. With that being said, I am gonna go live again at 4 p.m. today, but I gotta run some errands and stuff. But I hope everyone has a good day today. Again, always remember peace, love, and unity. Go out there and have a blessed, amazing day, and just be kind to one another. Be kind to one another. So with that being said, I will see y'all later, man. I hope y'all have a good one. Peace out.